feel like a brisket challenge? I do. So I went to Sam's Club and picked up some prime brisket, and I'm going to trim them up. I'm going to cook them whole in the backer. I'm going to cook them in the Ace BP, Old Hickory, Ace Big Papa, the one named after me, and we won a ton with the Old Hickory cookers. We're going to cook them, we're going to season them up, and then we're going to put them in the smoker at 225 for about 6 hours, 7 hours, till they get to about 170. And then I'm going to take one of them and I'm going to put it in a whole pan with some broth. The other one, I'm going to try the foil boat method with some broth. So let's see how it works here. Let me kind of hack into these. Good thing to do with these packers is open them on this side so you don't get some of the meat. Don't go too deep though. We're going to come in here, get this decal off. You know, the reason why you cut this decal off is because it's harder fat than the other, and it won't reduce and render like other parts of the fat. So that's why it's not going to add any flavor and it's not going to render, so we might as well get rid of it. Look, you watch a lot of people trim and they take about a 1/4 inch off this meat side, and that's just not something I want to do. I want to be as clean as possible. I want to get as much silver screen off of it, and I also want to get the fat off, but I don't want to give up any precious meat. We're going to take this out. There you go. Okay, we're going to get the rest of the top off right there, and we'll flip it over. We'll come see you in just a little bit. What we want is we want to cut off the mohawk first. We're going to take off a lot of this fat. We want about a 1/4 inch. Now, a little pro tip, you save your fat and you save for tallow, but the other thing you save it for is to lay it on the cooker level. If you have a low spot, just grab one of these hunks of meat or fat and put it underneath it, and it'll make it so the airflow goes over it so smoothly and beautifully. Okay, you see we've rounded the tip off. We want to come in here and actually take a little bit more because we don't like this thin part. Scissors just get it cleaned up nicely. It's starting to look really good. We'll just do a couple of really clean ones to smooth out the top, and then we're out of here. We're just trying to get this aerodynamic. And we're trying to get some of the fat off. We're going to make sure we have the right amount of fat, though, that we want. We're cooking this fat side up. We want to leave about a 1/4 inch of fat, maybe 3/8 at the most. Okay, we are done. Okay, kids, let's start with the first layer, Little Louie's. Little Louie's is salt, pepper, garlic, some other spices in there. I can tell you, but just buy it and find out. So what we're going to do, nice 16 mesh black pepper. Again, not as much on this side, because this is the side that's down, but it sure looks pretty. In fact, I'm going to give you a little more dust on this side. Now, cash cow. This is so great. It's got rendered beef stock, rendered beef fat. It's got everything you want. Smoked alder sea salt. Here we go, this side. And before we put them in the pan, we'll take the sides and we'll just put the side of the brisket on the overspray. Anybody happy besides me? Okay, we're going to put them in the refrigerator We're going to put them in the cooker later on tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Here we go. This is our brisket challenge, remember. Onto the old hickory Ace BP. There's one prime biscuit from Sam's Club. There we go. We're going to see these in about 7 hours. 200 degrees, 205. It might get to 210. We're going really slow so I can get a good night's sleep. Okie dokie. Let me shut her down here. Good night, old hickory. See you in the morning, everybody. Okay, we've got our prime challenge we did yesterday. We put it on last night. This ended up being the smaller. It shrunk a little bit, but it really buffed up nicely. Let me see what we got going here. A little more than I like, 185, but down here, 190. This is not going to lead long. There's a lot of cooks out there that follow the internet and don't give credit. I learned this from Chud. Check out his YouTube page. He's unbelievable. So I'm going to come up here, make sure it's tight. Make sure that the edges, no liquid involved. Again, check Chet out because I look at him all the time. He wouldn't use this, but I'm using my ThermoPen one. But look at how pretty that is. All right, so that's going to go back in there. All right, here we go. Here comes second of the brisket challenge. And this is going to be how I originally started cooking briskets. It's so funny how you come back around, like using a whole pan or a half pan and some au jus and just cover. So I'm going to take about a half a thing of here. 400 milliliters, or 2/3 of a cup. This is the secret right here. Miner's Au Jus Prep. It's the finest of this I've found, the base for it. So instead of some of the wraps they sell or any of that or stock, I'm just going to make my Miner's Au Jus. 1 big tablespoon. That's just a little too salty. So now it's just a taste. That's a big soup spoon worth. And it's perfect. Tastes beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to get a full pan and a lid and a brisket and put it together. This is so good. Let me see. Remember, there's more than one way to skin a cat or cook a brisket. So I'm going to take this juice. Now, I got a lot of juice in there, but believe it or not, there'll be a lot more juice that's going to come out of the brisket as it renders. What do you say we throw a probe on it? Here we go. Okay, I got a little ThermoPen. Listen. Bark, real bark, not 16 pounds of rub smoked around. Now, we got about 2 2/3 cups. We'll put the foil top on it. We're going to braise it until it hits 200. I'm braising it to where it's 200, where it's the least cooked right now. So some of it may be a little over. Some of it may be just fine. Get this really tight. And off to bed as she goes. I'll see you guys when it's done. Now we've got the oven set to 165 warming. Here we go, the pan one. And the foil broke. Okay, we'll just tighten up the foil around it before we close the door. All right, brisket challenge. Here comes the foil boat. Let me do that thing. Let's see if you can hear the bark. Bark is really good. Fat feels pretty good. Maybe could have done a little more rendering on this. Okay, we got the juice here. Oh, baby. A little tight on the bottom, but boy, it feels good. No, it's perfect. Holding up beautifully. I just can't believe how juicy it is. Okay, we'll transfer it to that pan. I would call that a win. Okay, now we're gonna switch briskets. Let's put some foil on top of that. This is sort of amazing. Look, I got some good bark on this. Oh, woo. Stop, this should be illegal.
It's dripping.
Do a little taste test. It's really surprising how good the bark is. All right, please, I wish you guys could try this. It's so bad listening to somebody on the internet brag about their food that you can't taste.
Jeez.
Okay, I'm happy, kids. I'm happy.